What's good, everybody? What's good, everybody? This your boy JT, opposite from the norm. I said I wasn't gonna do too many more videos about Candace Owens, but even though I don't really care for Roland Martin like that no more after what he said about Snoop Dogg and Gayle King, whatever, he said some real shit. Somebody like Candace Owen is evil that you can't let stand alone because she has pictures and video of her with 45 and the assistant 45. So I feel him on that. But I want to call her out because she lied. And one of my Straight to It podcast family members did a video saying he agreed with everything she said. And hopefully, you know what I'm saying, not to call the brother out, I'm just saying hopefully we can do some dialogue about this because, to be honest with you, she was lying on that video. And if you really break it down, you will see that. So I just want to say this. One of the things she said when she was lying about George Floyd, God rest his brother, so and thank God everybody in this country is fed up with the bullshit too. Okay. She said that he's not somebody that you want to hold up. Let's break some stuff down that she said. She said black people love holding up our worst people. And she said nobody but black people do this. Okay, let's look at the history of this country. If you look at Thomas Jefferson and do your history on Thomas Jefferson, you would know that Thomas Jefferson was a slave owner and he became one of the presidents of this United States. And he's one of the people that's responsible for the Democratic Republican. Democrats and Republicans was once the same. One and the same. Okay. But he was a slave owner. He's on our money. Okay. Then you got, she said, okay, then another thing I wrote. America killed almost all the Indians. I was watching a HaHa Davis video and he put it in. So he gave me some good perspectives to talk about. Shout out to HaHa Davis. Okay, think about this. We the only one that hold up all our worst shit. But you mean to tell me we still celebrate Columbus Day and we know the history. He was a fucking criminal and everything under the sun. He came over here, led people over here talking about this is a new country when Indians, the indigenous people, I've been drinking a little bit earlier. The indigenous people was Indians in this country. They went on ahead and stole this country. Then Indians said that they don't like Washington Redskins name because that is a racial slur. And because the owner is white, he get to say, fuck you. I'm not changing nothing. And nobody picketed. And we got to all think about that. Now, black people, HaHa Davis said this. Black people, we need to bring up what happened to a lot of other people. And we do bring it up about Indians. We do talk about how they did Indians. But people are okay with that. Okay, the Confederate flag. The South fought against the North because they did not want to free their slaves. They didn't want to free their slaves, right? But you still see Confederate flags around this motherfucker, especially in the South. She don't talk about that shit. Okay, then she said police brutality is a myth. But the FBI made a report about white supremacists joining the police force all over the country. I think it was like in 2012, 2013 or something like that. They put out a nationwide memo basically telling the departments and leaders of those police departments to watch out for white supremacists joining the police force. But I guess maybe that don't mean shit. I doubt that it was a black person trying to put that into play and say all of this bullshit. But guess what? That's what the FBI said. Okay, so you take all your information for numbers and all of that, but you mean to tell me that you don't say nothing about that? Okay. Then another thing she says, we try to hold George Floyd up as a martyr. And if you look at the meaning of martyr is basically somebody who died for their principles and their beliefs, what they believe in, or somebody who was a saint that died, got killed. If you look at it, people are not saying that George Floyd was a saint. It's two things people are saying when you break it down. People are talking about one side that it was wrong how George Floyd got killed, and they felt that it was racial because the way he got done, because that keeps happening in our communities. Two, the main people you see is Stephen Jackson. You see Paul Wall talk about him. You see other people talk about him that loved him and knew him dearly. So all you are seeing is people talking about George Floyd because they love him, so they're just giving a narrative of who he was to them. Nobody's giving a George Floyd award. You know what I'm saying? If you believe that he died unjustly and his family and him and his kids deserve justice, then you would not bring up his past. You say for almost 5 or 6 years, he tried to clean himself up. First of all, with a $20 bill that they say allegedly was counterfeit, I don't see anything that's saying that it was proved that that $20 bill was counterfeit. Even still, most situations that happen like that, they normally take it and investigate it. They don't just go and beat the shit out of somebody and put their knee on the neck until he dies while he's screaming and crying for his deceased mother, God rest her soul as well. Okay, then she says black people are criminals more than anyone else. But check this out. White people are more historical in killing indigenous people and hatred or slavery, and black people are unfairly judged and convicted more than anyone. She says we commit over 50% of the crimes in this country. So when the police come to us, they are afraid because of what they heard. Okay, one breath you say that black people are playing the victim, or we are cool with being the victim, but then you say we're savages. So if the police come to our community after hearing what people like you say, guess what they're going to do? They're going to treat us unfairly, unjust, especially the racist, white supremacist MFers that have joined the police forces all across the nation like the FBI said. Think about this also. So many black people like Central Park 5, God bless those brothers, was unfairly arrested. And come to find out, they did not commit the crime. This happens all the time. Look at all the history of people that was falsely convicted and had to get released and got paid millions of dollars. Look that up just in case y'all don't know that. Then she tried to say that black people kill more white people than it. I could have sworn everybody kills everybody because it's more so about proximity than it's more so about color when you're around your own people, but we don't hear about white on white crime. She's reading the script, y'all. Then another thing. She didn't grow up like us, but thinks she can speak for us, to white people. When she went down into the Revolt Summer, right? Anybody that's seen it with T.I., Killer Mike was there, and other people that was there, especially Tamika Mallory, God bless her. Okay, so she tried to come out there, she say her bullshit. It doesn't work the same when people disagree with you. You're not going to come out and say the same bullshit and we just going to believe you because you feel that you can, and you just going to brainwash people like you're brainwashed. You're just trying to get a name known. But you know you didn't grow up like us. Just like Haha Davis pointed out, I seen the Joe Rogan interview that she had with Joe Rogan and said she used to be a big-ass Jay-Z fan. And then she said she used to love him and understood his story being a rapper that came from Queens. Jay-Z is not Nas. Jay-Z is not Run DMC. Jay-Z is not, you know what I'm saying? Jay-Z is from Brooklyn. He says it all the time. He's from the BK. He's not LL Cool J. He's from Brooklyn. Just like AZ, just like Big Daddy Kane, just like B.I.G., just like a lot of real brothers that come from Brooklyn that put it down in the game, God bless them. Just like Jizza, just like ODB, God rest his soul. These brothers are from Brooklyn. Jay-Z is not from Brooklyn. You wasn't even smart enough to Google stuff that you can find out, stuff that he even said on his pop songs all the time in his videos he showed all the time. Okay, so you got to be careful about that, especially you white people that's listening to this ignorant bad wench. She don't like being called a bad wench or coon and things like that. Then stop acting like one, because just because you're successful and you're successful doesn't mean it's okay the way our people are being treated. All right, then like I said, she blames us but won't help with our issues. We have mental issues in the black community, health, education, inequality, poverty. Anything you can think of is the problem with our community. So instead of you pointing out like we just need to do better, if you was trying to help us, you would come down and you would help us do better. But this does not help us do better. This is the thing you got to think about. And like I said, a race trader. She's a race trader for a paycheck and fame. If you was really trying to help the black community, you would be in the black community trying to help the black community versus putting it down all the time, because you got to realize there are good people. And another thing, like I said before, you got Breonna Taylor, you got Tatiana Jackson, God rest those sister souls. What did they do wrong? You're not talking about them, but you're talking about Ahmaud Arbery, you're talking about George Floyd. Every time there's a situation where you can find somebody had a bad past, even though they might have changed their lives, you still gonna sit there and shit on them because it fits the narrative that you're trying to push. And then George Floyd, yeah, he doesn't have a fucked up past. He did some crazy retarded things, but I noticed he was a drug addict. It's possible he was a drug addict because almost all his cases has something to do with drugs. So we have that addiction in our community. If you look at DMX, people make fun of him, but the brother has an addiction, and I pray God, he's spiritual, strongly. God bless him. But you need to realize that you have to fight that addiction or any other addiction that makes you possibly go back to those addictions. So in my opinion, I don't see George Floyd as somebody that just was totally effed up. When you're on those drugs, what usually happens? You do effed up stuff. But what's so funny, if you look at it, white people, when they're on these pills and this epidemic that's going on now, they talk about helping their peoples, especially because when white people, especially rich white people or rich people, period, are able to go ahead and help their kids, they're going to help their kids and they're going to make excuses for them. But why, when it comes to us, every time that something goes wrong with us, you want to say that we're criminals and savages, but white people get help. We need help too. So I just wanted to go ahead and talk about that. And like I said, one of the Straight to It podcast brothers, I want to go ahead and do a show with him so we can talk about it. Now, he say he agreed with it, what she said, 100%. He doesn't have any questions. But hopefully, if he sees this video, it will wake him up to kind of question it, because she is not talking from the perspective like he's talking. You come from the community or the same type of community that I come from, and you know certain things are wrong. Yes, we know these things are wrong, God, when we need to fix these things, but there's a disconnect of what happened in our community. It's not just we decided to go ahead and be shitless and fucked up. We go through a lot of things, and regardless of what the past and history, if you want to help us be better and do better, God will, in the future, then let's work together to be better. And I thank God for every race that I've been seeing in St. Petersburg, Florida, the bird, you know what it is, that's been out here protesting. It has not just been us, and I thank God, because we are tired. Our feet feel like we walk most of the road, and we are tired. And I thank God for people that is out there that's with us. Much love. Power to the people that's just real. You know what I'm saying? All this just so we can be free. So y'all like, comment, share, and subscribe. Make sure you holler at me. Give me your comments on what you think. If you agree, let me know. If you disagree, let me know. But hopefully you won't disagree with some racist shit, because I'm going to go in on that ass. This your boy JTL, opposite from the norm. And people like her, cancel them. Call them out, then cancel them. Don't even pay them no mind no more. But at the same time, they doing stuff like that. Put them in their place and show what time it is. Black is beautiful. Black is love. Peace and love.